What's going on today, guys? We're going to do a small review. Not much of an installation, but I will show how it goes in because it's a really easy job. But we're going to do a small review on the ECS Luft-Technik snorkel. It's a dual air inlet snorkel. Now in the front of your car, if you pull off your stock snorkel, you'll notice that there's air ventilation that goes through, well, it only really comes through one side. And I'll probably end up drummeling out the other side so I can get the utilization of that second inlet. But it comes in through this left side and then goes over into the intake section where it would be pulling in through the intake. So I've already pulled off my stock snorkel. That's also very easy. It's about like, I think 4 screws or something like that going around, and then you just install this guy. It's just these 4 screws. There's 4 screws that are Allen heads that go all the way around. And on the inside, you have little bolts that they connect to. It wasn't too bad at all. So let's go outside and get it thrown in and see how it looks. All right, so we're out here with the GTI. As I said, the stock snorkel's out. This is exactly where the new one goes in. It just sits right up in front. The stock holes, it only utilizes 2 of them, so it's a little bit easier, less hardware. They go right on. You just tighten them down. Just using an Allen wrench. That's the hardware it came with. I'm not going to go super tight, just tight enough for it to not be like flopping around, just because it's all plastic like everything else nowadays, so I don't want it to pinch the plastic that it's holding on to right there. So once again, just enough to hold it there. Appears to be in place. Get a look from this side. You see the inlet's going right there. I think I need this quant line reroute. I think IE sells them, but you can see it's all closed off on this side, and then that side's wide open. So anything that it's able to suck in through here, I don't like that. I don't like that gap right there. But anything that's able to suck in through here and through over here, which is wide open as it should be, will go straight to the intake. Everything from here and here. So that's it. Not going to be able to hear it too well in here, but we'll get a couple little sounds. Alright, so we're not going to go crazy, but I'll give it some second gear and third gear action. Hear a little bit of turbo. We got traction off. We're in sport mode. We're just going to hear a little bit of the intake. We're not going to really hear any changes from that dual inlet. At least I'm not expecting anything. The CTS intake I have, as well as the ECS diverter valve spacer, made it incredibly loud. So that's what you'll hear. Shit's loud as hell, and I love it. Would I recommend the Luft-Technik snorkel? In my case, actually I had lost the hardware to my stock one, so I ended up going with this because I wanted to change the looks of the engine bay as well as get the dual air inlet. So yeah, I mean it works for me. Would I pay for it if I had the stock snorkel on still? At what they're asking for it, I think it's like $150, $160. I don't think I would pay that again. But especially because it's just cheap plastic. I mean, I'm about to get a damn 3D printer real soon and start making parts because that's all they're doing. So yeah, would I recommend it? I think it goes case to case. I don't see any issues with it. I don't think it's a problem if you want to spice up the engine bay a little bit.
go for it. But I will say, a closed intake is going to eliminate that, most of them, or a, you know, just your stock snorkel is going to work just fine. But if you like to play around with the intake modifications and swat the setup quite a bunch of times like I have, then yeah, give it a shot. Alright, this is the Jamaican Jack signing out. Thanks so much. Alright, one last thing. It should be pretty obvious to most, seeing as how, you know, VW, the engineers, you know, made this part for the car, and it comes with the part stock, so you probably should have it. But I, once again, couldn't find the hardware for my stock snorkel after I removed it when I put on my APR carbon fiber. That's sold now, but I basically bought this dual inlet because I noticed once I installed my CTS freaking hot air sucker, once I installed that, I was getting some pretty high intake air temps. They seem pretty normal right now. It's said it's about 61 degrees out, so that's not too bad. I'm not working it hard, I just did a little pull, but I do not recommend running your open air intake without the snorkel. I wouldn't do it because you pull one time, and then the next pull you go and look and your intake air temps are 100 degrees and it's 50 degrees outside. So don't be stupid like me. Get the Luft-Technik or use your stock. Alright, thanks guys.